Okay, so we would like to go and talk about this length, which is one of the features, one of the functions that we can find, one of the many functions that we can find once we put the dot after any string. If you declare a variable of type string, and then you put the dot after its name, it's going to show you all these methods. Any variable that you declare with string, it will have these methods, which are a lot of different functions. We're going to learn some of them. Dot length is one of them, and then actually with the NetBeans you have the advantage of, if you, for example, select one of them, it's going to show you the information about this. So this returns the length of the sequence of characters represented by this object. So it counts how many numbers are in this object. There's something that we're going to use this index of, for example. It returns the index within this string of the first occurrence of the specified substring. Sometimes it's complicated because you're not used to it, but once we explain this, it's going to make more sense. So let's now the dot length, if you'd like to use it, and don't you have to pay attention to the spelling. It's GTH, not GHT. Sometimes this is one of the common mistakes where it doesn't work. So when I do something like this, it's going to count how many characters are in the string. And I'm saying characters, not letters, because it can have like, this is also calculated as a character. So this space is a character as well. Yes?
What about if you have string?
What do you mean string? String?
String S?
No, just one, because this is only about S. If your question was if I have like string, another string str2, for example, with something like this, and if you use s.length, is it going to calculate the total of both of them? That's your question, right? No, because this is the total of s only, and if I'd like the total of this one, I need to do this this str2.length. Each one of them has a single calculation that is dependent on it. So now if I run this, it's 6 because I have 3 including the space, another 3, that's 6, and this has 5, that's why it's different. Well, you have to add them. You do something like this, for example. If you would like the total of this, so this is this plus this, because this is a number and this is another number. So if you want the total of those things, you just add them like plus, and this is a number int divided by plus int. The result is an int, and I'm displaying an int, so I'm going to see this. Why I'm seeing this one? Because I left it here. I can disable by using these comments. You know these comments, this is something that allows us to disable a code not to be executed, or put some comments from you know the program. You put something that explains what you're doing, so next time you open the file you understand what this code is doing. Or maybe if I'm going to give you some code, I'm going to put some comments in it. And actually I did that from last time, if you remember. I don't know if it was with your section, but if you go to the course, I have put online something. No, not with you. Okay, maybe another section. I'm going to get back to that, inshallah. So anyways, you have dot length is one of the different methods that exist with string, and this calculates how many characters are there in the string. But this is only to the string that is attached to it. So if I say s dot length, so it calculates what is inside of s. So let's have a look at these some other examples. Let's say you have this S1 Espresso, S2 Salam Shabab, whatever, and S3. Do you see this one S3? It has like double quotes and double quotes, which means this has a name. It is called empty text. Let me just remove this one. Oh, we don't need this one anymore. So what happens if I do something like this? You know, I use just double quotes and I open and I close. I did not put anything. This is 0. There's nothing. There's 0. Yeah. Okay, so this is what it means. It means 0. So now I have s1.length. How many characters are in this s1? So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to count this one as well. So it's 9. I don't just stop at just the letters. It's any character. Same thing for Shabab. That means 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's going to give me 12. The space is also included because this is character. This one we've seen that is going to give us 0. But what if you declare something like S4, but you don't put anything inside of it? Exactly, this is going to give you some error. Very important. With strings, if you'd like to use this dot something, you have to have something inside of the string first. So this is something important. Okay, now there's some more interesting ones, which is char at and index of. And actually, the index means the position. The index, when you say that the index, and also in the comments, in the description of those methods, whenever you read the index of something, that means the position of that thing. So let's have a look at this example. We have this string str. This is the name of the string. Equal Java is fun. Okay. Now this means that inside of the memory, this is how it's going to be represented, something like this. So many boxes, and each box you have one character, and each character has a position, and this position, this is called the index. So when I'm having something, the index always starts from 0. So this is what might be confusing. The only thing that you have to be careful when you're doing this type of operations, just remember the first position of the first character is not 1, it's 0. So I have from 0 to 11. That means how many letters, how many characters do I have? 12. I have 12 characters from 0 to 11. That's the only thing that you need to, pay attention to, so you don't get mixed up. Now that you have from 0 to 11, now let's do let's use those char at and index of. If I'm using str.char at 8, this is what it does. It looks for the position number 8 and sees, oh, this is the letter at that position, and it's going to give you the result is F. So for example, if I'm doing this something like okay, Java is fun, I think this is the same text. Java is fun with the, and if I use this S, well, I don't need these anymore. If I use this char at 8, so now if I run this, it's going to give me the F. So just to confirm whatever we've seen, okay? So char at is going to give you the character at a specific position. If I say, let's say 4, what is the character at position number 4? So, sorry? V? A? Space? Well, this is, we start from where? 0, 1, 2, 3. So 4 is this space over here. So if I run this, I'm not going to see anything, but actually there's a space that is displayed, but I don't see it. It's a space. So that's why it's very important for you to always start from 0, okay? So now what about this char at 15? So this is not nothing, this is error. I mean, if I put something that doesn't exist, like 40, and I'm trying to execute that, I'm gonna have an error. It doesn't show me error here because everything is written correctly, but when I try to run it, then it gives me some exception. Okay. So be very careful when you use this index of. What about this one? Char at. Now index of is something like the opposite of char at. Char, you give it a number, the position, it gives you the letter. Now index of is the opposite. You give it some text, some letters, and it gives you what's the position of those letters. So this one is index of 5 and 6, right? So it's here. However, it's not going to give you 5 and 6. It's going to give you only the first position of that, where it's the first thing it's there, so it's in 5. That's why this is going to give you 5. What about this index of A? We have A here and we have A here. So it always gives you the first one. Index of always give you the first one, so that's why it's going to give you this A over here, and this is the first position, number A. Number 1, sorry.
So I need the other
If you need the other A, what there's more processing to do. There's something that if you can get, if you want the last A, there's something last index of. So there's different ways that I can to deal with those. What about something like this? Index of car. Is there any car here? So there's no car. So if you say 0, I might understand that it starts here. If I say error, I might say that this is wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong. It's just this car doesn't exist. There's no mistake to have an error. That's why it's different from here. Here there's a mistake. You're asking for something that doesn't exist. But here there's not something. You're looking for something that doesn't exist. So they decided that the guys who developed Java, they said, okay, we need to put a value that will explain that it doesn't exist without the meaning that this is an error. If I say 0, then people might understand that this is 0. If I give a big number, they might understand that this is at that position of that number. So what they said, okay, let's put -1. -1 will mean the text that you were looking for doesn't exist in the string. So whenever you get -1, that means it's not there. So for example, if I'm looking for something like this, let's change this and try index of and type whatever, a question mark, for example. I'm just looking for the question mark. Is there any question mark? If I run this, it's going to give me -1. If I change this to a dot, is there a dot? Yeah, it's position number 11. So that's the thing with index of. So now we've seen char at, index of, length, to have the number of those things.
But why did it show error?
Because there's no error. It's just that the char doesn't exist. This car doesn't exist, so they don't show you errors. They give you -1 to say -1 has the meaning of the text that you tried doesn't exist in the string.
And 15.
15, you're trying to say, give me the position, the letter at the position 15.
Yeah.
And there is no letter at the position 15.
So why they didn't include -1?
That's a good point. Why they didn't just give you -1 here, for example? Well, basically this is for something that is related to arrays, which is a topic that we're going to see maybe after the quiz 2, or maybe before the quiz 2. So week 12, week 11, week 10, this is probably when we're going to be talking about this. But for now, just remember that if you have char at, if you're using char at, you specify the position. You need to know which position to specify. When you specify a text, it doesn't matter. It can be something that doesn't exist. It will not be an error. If it exists, it will show you the number, the position of that. If it doesn't exist, it will show you just -1.
What
Yes.
if you write the car in the chart?
What if I write the car in?
Chart.
It's not possible because char at doesn't work like that. It works. You give it a number. If you that's a good question. Let's try that. The same thing. Let's let's have a char at. So char at, and then I'm trying to put like car. First of all, it will not execute because it tells you, well, sorry, but this char at works with numbers inside of parentheses, not a text. So it was expecting a number. So it says, no suitable method found for char at string. You give it a string inside. Method char at needs an int between this. So it's looking for a number, and then you give it something else. The same thing with index of. It's looking for a string, so if you give it a number, will it work? It will work. I don't know what this number means, but what happens if it's a number? It considers this number as a char, like a Unicode character. Anyway, so, but for char at, you cannot use the string. Okay, so let's continue on this one. Now imagine that this is string str Java. What is there are other methods, I mean, that can be used. The equals allow you to compare two texts. Don't put too much efforts into understanding this, because we're going to see this more when we are going to be comparing using the ifs, for example, to compare texts. But know that, just would like to make you understand that Java with the capital letter and with the lowercase, this is not the same. So if you try to compare them, are they equal? It's not going to be equal. They're going to be not equal if there's a difference in the capital. And there's compare to, which allows you to compare between different texts, which one comes first, which one comes last. But if you compare with text, you just compare with letter by letter. If the first letter is lesser than the second letter, then the whole text is going to be before. Look at, for example, this one. J is before Z, right? You remember with the ASCII table? This is J. What is it? This is J. What's the number of J? Capital J? 74. And what about Z? Lowercase z? 122. Which one comes first? So that's why now, because of this, even if zoo is smaller in size, there's only 3 letters in zoo, while in Java there are 4, but still Java comes before zoo. So Java is smaller, if we can say that, between text, smaller than zoo. This is how it is compared. And if they have the same, for example, the same first letter, they are exactly the same, then they compare the second letter. Second letter with second letter. Are they the same? No, if one of them is different, then it's going to be sorted that way. So there's this equals, compared to, substring, which is very interesting. We're going to look at it. Substring of a string, it gives you a part of it. But there's something, well, the way they decided to use it is quite, well, they decided to use it this way. Let me show you. Look for this substring. Yes?
The compare to, what do you compare?
Letters by letters. You compare the first letter of str, because we compare, look, we use compare from str, right? So str.compare to. So we compare this first letter of J with first letter of whatever we need to compare to. If this is one is smaller than the other one, then we decide which one is smaller. If they have the same, we need to go for the second letter and compare with the second letter and so on. But we compare one string that is in this string with another thing. Let's have a look at here. This is position 0, position 1, position 2, and position 3, right? If I'm asking substring 1, 3, it gives me only AV, not AVA. Why? Because you need to understand that this is how substrings works. You give it 1 when it starts, so it starts from here, and it give it 3 where it stops, and 3 is not included. So 1 is included, 3 is not included. And they decided to do it this way. I would have preferred another way, but this is not me who developed Java. And if you don't like it, just develop another programming language, name it whatever you want, and then make it work as you want.
What do you mean by compare?
What do you mean by this? Compare to? Compare to, you would like to compare to texts. Which one comes first? If you like if you'd like to sort text, which one comes first? Is A, B, C, and so on, or Z until A? So is it in descending or ascending order, something like that?
Based on the ASCII table.
Exactly. But don't put too much effort in it. Inshallah, maybe later on we're going to be talking we're using the ifs. It will make more sense. But for now, the substring is something that I'd like you to put more efforts in it, because we're going to be using it much more than this compared to. So this string dot substring 1, 3 means take the first character at the position 1 until 3, but 3 is not included. So it takes A and V. And what happens if I just, actually this works in 2 ways. You give it where it starts, where it stops. Or you just give it where it starts, and then it takes everything until the end. So for example, like this one, substring 1 means starting from 1, give me everything in that string. There's something else like trim, which if you have some spaces before or after, when you use trim, it's going to remove those spaces. So sometimes this is some useful method to use. To uppercase, to lowercase, you understand if it was lowercase, it's going to become uppercase, and so on. So let me show this quickly, for example. Let me display, for example, s dot to lowercase, so everything is going to be lowercase. Let's run this, so you can now see J is lowercase, or maybe 2 uppercase, and now if I run this, everything is capital. So these are some methods. There are many. I'm just showing some of them, but every time you would like to learn something, you just press a dot, and if you have time, you can just compare this. You remember when I said you would like to find some others? So this is last index of. It doesn't start from the beginning. You find the last A, for example, something like that. So there's many of different of these different methods like this. Okay, let's have some small exercises regarding this this one over here. What is the result of this first one? Text.substring 04. So in order for us to follow up, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So how many letters? How many characters? No. How many characters we have? 16 characters from 0 to 15. Don't get confused, okay? So we would like now to have from 0 to 4, 4 not included. So this is going to give me Java, right?
No.
Jav?
Yeah.
Or Java?
Java.
0, 1, 2, 3.
4 is not included.
So 4 is a space, so it's not included, but 3 is included. So I will have 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is included. It's 4. 4 is not included, but 3 is included.
Just 0 and 4 is not.
No, excuse me. When I say this substring, we start from 0, and we take everything from 0 until 4, and 4 is not included. So this is, we said 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we don't take 4, and we start from 0. So this is what we get. Okay? Don't get confused. 0 is included, 1 is included until we reach this one, which is not included. Okay? Everyone? So just don't forget this one, because we're going to use it many times. So this is going to give us Java. Text.length 16, because we said from 0 to 15. So it's 16. Okay, so this is going to be 16. All right, so what about substring 8, 12? So let's go back. This was 0. If I remember, this was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 is 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. And this is 15. So we would like to have from 8 to 12. 12 not included. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So we take this until, so this is 8, 9, 10, 11, and we stop there. So it's going to be gram. Let's write this as a decent 5. So this is going to give us gram, only one M. Okay, what about this one over here?
J.
0, 1, 1 not included, so this is only J. So this is J. And substring 7 to 9, so 5, 6, 7, so
OG.
7, 8, and 9 is not included, so
OG.
OG. So we add J to OG, and we have jug, which is the result of this one. All right? Is everything okay? Why none is not included? Because we never include the second word. The second part is never included. So, for example, from here, if you remember, we said from 0 to 4, and 4 is not included. This is 4, so 4 was not included, so we stopped here. So that's why we stopped at 3. Every time from 8 to 12, we said that this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So we start from gram, and so this is 8, 9, 10, 11, we don't take 12. We never take the last one. So the last one is not included, the first one is included. So that's why. 7, same thing. This is 7, 8, 9 is not included, so we don't take it. Oh, I forgot, I deleted everything. 0, 5, and it was convenient for us to calculate, and then this is 15. Okay, so what about this one now? 5, 6. So 5, and we stop before 6. That means we only take P. So this is P. And what about this text substring of? Oh, let's have a look at this. This is the first number, and this is the second number. So this is where we start. This is where we stop, and this is not included. What is text.length? Remember we said text.length is 16, and 16 minus 3, 13. So what we're taking now from 13, this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 is not included. Actually, 16 doesn't exist. So ing, and we add to P this ing, what we get? Ping. You know what ping is? Hmm? No, actually, this is like I don't know, maybe, but I was thinking about the command that we use when we'd like to test the network. Do you know? You play games. I'm sure that you played games, and sometimes you see when you try to connect to a server, you see the ping, yes, this 100 whatever. So this is like the speed of the connection between you and that server. Yes, for online gaming. Yeah. All right, so. This is just some small exercises. I would like you now to go for this, and this is your turn now to go for your own exercise. I would like you to write a program that initializes a string to hello the word, and then you're going to print on the screen the length of that, and then just erase the from that string. So I'd like you to display hello word without the hello the word using substring, .length, and char at whatever index of whatever you can use, just use it. And this is what we'd like you to do, and this is the exercise.